Hello, everybody. CDR has been in place since 2019, and this year, 2022, has been a huge one for the consumer data right regime. With access seeker arrangements coming into place this year, the long-awaited for action initiation consultation having just begun and finished as quickly as it started. And so next year, we're expecting to see some big changes coming into place for the regime. To speak to us about these changes and the exciting opportunities that lay ahead of us, we've got Stuart Stoyan and Anthony Borgese.
So CDR for consumers is all about getting rid of friction. So anything that a consumer can do in their lives, both in banking, in energy, and telecommunications, and other sectors who's moved to it, any action that you think, taking on a service or buying a product that is difficult, that has questions, that causes somebody to think, is this the right product or service for me, can be done automatically through CDR. The ability to think through, is this the right health insurance plan? That can be solved. The ability to think through, is this the right iPhone plan for me? That can be solved. So being able to work through and eliminate friction for consumers means that you can now get the best deal. You get the best product and best service. But more importantly, you don't have to be thinking about things like health insurance or banking products or gas services.
But I think whether that's easier to compare products, which is makes life easier for consumers, whether that's switching products or even removing friction in the way in which you access products. So for example, if you want to enter into a new product, if that process is 30 seconds rather than 5 minutes, then that's easier.
So advice is to get on board early. You want to be involved early so that you can get ahead of your competitors. But more importantly, as your customers are coming into a CDR regime, if it's a new industry like energy or telecommunications, you want to make sure that you're there first and foremost ahead of your competitors. That's both to be able to control the messaging to your customers, but also, more importantly, to control the experience to your customers. Because again, this comes back to customer experience. And if your customer's going to get a better experience somewhere else, then they're going to move somewhere else, and CDR will enable that. So you want to be ahead of the curve in terms of customer retention.
You don't want to underestimate the length of time it takes just to get ready. It is complex, the regime is complex, and the technology is complex. And particularly now, following all the recent cyber issues, it's just getting a little bit harder. It's harder for organisations to implement new technologies, and it's harder to find people with the right skills. So the timeline to implementing new technology solutions has lengthened. So you don't want to be in a position where your competitor is releasing new products. You decide, gee, we should get on board, but it's going to take us now another 12 months before we can do that.
Not even a moonshot, but a near-term moonshot is the combination of banking data and energy data. And if you're to combine this into, should I get solar panels for my house? The ability to be able to take your energy data and look at what your usage is, to then possibly take your house plans, or at least the location of where your house is, to understand the orientation, and you can do this now through Google Maps, of the roof line, to then see if solar panels would make sense, to be able to then estimate how much energy you'd be able to then save through solar panels, and then run a financing model through that to go, well, what would it actually cost me to be able to get a loan for those solar panels? And then to be able to cost that out and go, well, this is actually not going to cost you anything. And in 6 years' time, they'll have paid for themselves. And then beyond 6 years, you're actually getting money back. So I see that as a real practical, tangible use case. A little bit of a moonshot because it involves pulling some data together across industries, but I don't think we're too far away from being able to do that, and that's super exciting. More broadly, just onboarding, being able to onboard customers and being able to actually verify data and verify details. If you're a lender and you require a pay slip in any sort of loan process, you shouldn't require that going forward. Why? Because you can verify income immediately off of transaction data. So I think there's just a lot of simplification to existing processes that are probably a bit unnecessarily convoluted anyway, but in a CDR world are ever so more convoluted than they need to be.
Yeah, and imagine on your energy theme, if your bank says to you, actually you don't have to worry about energy anymore, we'll just look after that for you. We'll compare products every month, and then if we want to, if we need to, then we'll just automatically switch accounts. If you give us permission, we'll just switch accounts for you every month, so you never need to worry about energy again. Simple things like that.
Which, actually, just building on that,
Right.
on that riff though, but what that ultimately gets to then is who has the strongest customer relationship. And that doesn't need to be a bank, it doesn't need to be an energy provider, it could be my supermarket, it could be my airline, it could be my telco, it could be anybody, but whoever it is that has the strongest relationship will then be able to help be a gateway to all our products and services.
I think that's right. I mean, Treasury spoke about having a life admin centre. At the end of the day, how many life admin centres do you need? I mean, you can now, even for a simple use case, you can now get your other bank accounts on the banking app that you use the most. But it's interesting at the moment because you just see what's in your bank account. Once action initiation starts, then you can do your banking for your secondary bank accounts on your main banking app. So you only ever need one banking app, and to me that will be a significant change.
So as you've heard from Stuart and Anthony, key messages from this segment are get in quick, make sure you don't take too long to understand the regime because, the importance of tech are based off of two big things: to make things smarter and to make things smoother. And that's what the consumer data right is here to do. Thank you for watching.